Welcome to the Inside Travel Talk podcast and radio show. Coming up on today's show, we've still got more Black Friday travel deals to talk about. Warm weather destinations without a passport. Unlimited cruising for $799. Icon of the Seas, the gigantic ship from Royal Caribbean, is moving over to Galveston. And MSC Cruises starting at $199 per person. Yeah, really. Let's start the show. The Inside Travel Talk podcast, a radio show presented by BluePlanetVacations.com, contains travel deals, promotions, and offers that are time sensitive. All offers and information were accurate when the show aired. Travel deals and offers change constantly and are capacity controlled and subject to change without notice.
You're listening to the Inside Travel Talk podcast and radio show, presented by BluePlanetVacations.com, America's best travel advisors. Call or text the show now, 801-649-3700, 801-649-3700, and check out the podcast at InsideTravelTalk.com. Here's Patrick and Mark.
Inside Travel Talk podcast, a radio show, the post-Thanksgiving, post-Black Friday, but we've got more Black Friday deals to talk about. My name is Patrick Wiscombe. Mark Faldmo will be here in the studio here in just a moment. And the entire purpose of this radio show and podcast is to help you plan and book your next vacation or just give you some ideas of where you want to vacation next. And we are presented by BluePlanetVacations.com, Mark's company. And just a sincere thank you for taking the time to stop and listen. Coming up on this show, we've got MSC Cruises starting at $199 per person. No, I'm not making it up. Unlimited cruising for $799. More Black Friday deals, the gift of travel, warm weather destinations where you can travel without a passport. That is just a handful of the stories that we'll be talking about today on the show. Let me bring in the co-host of this award-nominated but never winning show, Mark Faldmo. Are you in your office in Layton right now?
I am, yes. Yep.
That was fun to be in your office this past week. That was good.
Yeah, it was good to have you there.
Let's get to the travel news headlines. Airlines are being sued, rightfully so, in my opinion, for selling window seats. Hey, come sit here. There's a window. But there's no window, Mark.
There's actually two suits out there. They're class action lawsuits that involve United Airlines, Delta Airlines, and Alaska Airlines. This is one of my biggest pet peeves because I'm a window person. But getting to a window seat and having no window.
Yeah.
Especially a lot of those can happen in the Comfort Plus. It depends on the configuration of the plane. I've had it happen in Comfort Plus a couple of times. I'm glad that this is getting a spotlight shined on it. And the suits mainly allege that everything's a digital seat map. So they do have the means of telling people there's not a window in that seat.
What's that resource that you have that you can point our listeners to see if there is an actual window if you're getting a window seat?
That is seatmaps.com. You can get there by seatmaps.com or in the bottom footer of BluePlanetVacations.com. In our resources, there's a link to that. And that's great because it'll tell you if it has standard legroom, if it has smaller legroom because of the configuration, if it has a narrower seat, window, no window. They'll tell you if it's preferred for this reason or not preferred, like its proximity to the restroom make it uncomfortable. And so so it'll tell you everything you need to know about each seat. I use that almost every time that I book a seat to make sure I'm good. And when I don't, I get one of these windowless window seats.
Mark is not a plaintiff in that lawsuit. Is not.
No.
It's the Saturday after Thanksgiving. Black Friday is in full swing. We are going to get to our Black Friday travel deals Was this from Globus?
This is from Globus. Yeah. So these are their top searched destinations right now. And it's also in conjunction with their Black Friday sale. So theirs is save up to $1,000 on select tours. But here are the top searched tours for Globus. The first one I totally agree with. It's called the Gems of Iceland. With the Northern Lights. And so this is a fall, winter, early spring destination. It's a 6-night tour and it's round trip Reykjavik, and it goes around the islands to all of the best Northern Lights watching areas, up to $1,000 off on that one for select dates. The next tour, and this is one that I want to do. It's the Turkish Escape. It is round trip Istanbul. It goes down to Kusadasi, which is by Ephesus, and it kind of does a circle area. It goes to Troy, starts and ends in Istanbul. I can see why this is also one of the top searched. Swiss Splendors by Train.
There we go. It's the train that got you.
That's the train part of it. That one starts or ends in Geneva, but then it does several of the most famous trains in Switzerland. So it has 2 nights in Lucerne, 2 nights in Interlaken, 2 nights in Zermatt, 2 nights in Lake Geneva, all connected mostly by train. There is a few segments that are by bus and a few segments that are by river.
So far, I'm not hearing any problem with any of it.
Yeah, no problems there. Those are the tours. And then again, you can save up to $1,000 off select Globus tours.
Another Black Friday deal, Rocky Mountaineer and Canyon Spirit. They also have their Cyber Monday and Travel Tuesday. What is their promotion?
I guess our theme is going to be trains for this segment. So, we just talked about in Switzerland. Now we're going to move on to the Canadian Rockies, which is the Rocky Mountaineer. And those are trains between Vancouver and Calgary area. Their prices are based in Canadian. They have save up to $1,000 Canadian per couple, which is what's at about, I think, $900 per couple, right, off of the Rocky Mountaineer. So they have 3 different routes you can choose. It's combinable if you do back to back. So if you do a circle journey, which would be a westbound and then an eastbound, you can combine that up to 2,000 Canadian per couple. Now this does end pretty quickly. So you only have until December 4th. To book this one, just a few days, and then moving to the Canyon Spirit, which is the Denver to Salt Lake train. This is the one I did a few months ago and absolutely loved it. This one is get the 3-day train journey for the price of 2-day train journey. On this one, you can travel between Denver and Moab or Denver and Salt Lake. And so now you can get the whole 3 days for the price of the 2-day journey.
Buy 2, get 1 day free.
Correct. Yeah.
We have a caller question. James wants to go to a warm beach destination this winter, but doesn't have a passport. Where can he go? I know the first thing you're going to say, it's probably Florida and probably Key West.
Yeah, that is correct. This time of year, mid-November into December, people start thinking about their winter beach destinations. Probably every 4th or 5th call is, but I don't have a passport. Where can I go? And so similar to what James is asking, number 1, I think, is Key West. I love Key West.
Oh, yeah.
You can almost feel like you're in the Caribbean, but you don't have to really leave mainland USA.
Key West is special. It is awesome.
It is. And I like the energy that's there.
Yeah.
And also, when I drive from Miami down to Key West, I just like to put on Jimmy Buffett. And that's kind of the laid back mood that you get in Key West. Now, there aren't a lot of hotels that are on the beach. In fact, I have a client in Key West right now. They are staying at a hotel called The Reach, which does have a beach. And there are a couple hotels across from the beach. There are 2 hotels I'd recommend that actually do have a beach. There are some good snorkeling places, good paddleboarding places. There's Sunset Celebration in Mallory Square.
Oh,
Patrick,
yeah.
when we were there, we did that.
Yep.
Just go down. There's street performers. It's a great place to watch the sunset.
Key lime pie, if you like a good key lime. won't find anything better.
That's true. There's the Hemingway House. There's the Southern White House. There's a nice lighthouse. There is a lot of history in Key West as well.
What's your next recommendation?
St. Thomas and the U.S. Virgin Islands.
Yeah. You're in the middle of the ocean. You're like, I feel like I'm in another country, but it's the U.S.
Yeah. Well, and you kind of do feel like you're in another country because they still drive on the wrong side of the road.
Yes, they do. Yeah, that was that was a little. I'm glad I wasn't driving, but I was like, yeah, we're doing this wrong.
It has really good beaches. Megan's Bay, which is top 10 beaches in the world. Sapphire Beach. You can go over to the island of St. John, go to Trunk Bay. Great beachfront hotels in St. Thomas. The one I like in particular is the Marriott that's right there at the opening of the bay there.
Yep. I was genuinely surprised how vertical, how much altitude there was on St. Thomas. We took the ride up to, I think it was called Paradise Point. Is that right, Mark?
The activity is Skyride to Paradise Point, and it's like a ski lift that takes you from sea level up to the top of the mountain with a great view overlook of the whole island.
Oh, man. It was spectacular. Little terrifying going down on the wrong side of the road. I will never get used to going left side of the road. What other places can you go without a passport?
The last one I was going to talk about is San Juan.
Sneaky
San Juan,
good.
Puerto Rico.
Yep.
Yeah. And so this is one where if you want history, you want a foodie vacation, you want a beach vacation, you want a casino vacation, actually. It's just a good overall well-rounded beach destination with no passport required.
Nikki and I were there in April in Old San Juan. What a fun place to just walk.
It is. Save up to $250 and get up to 10,000 bonus sky miles. So we can use that for any of these beach destinations with no passport required.
Let's get to the travel deal of the week, which is all about the gift of travel. Mark?
A lot of people come to us and ask for gift certificates to give as gifts during the holiday season. So we're going to give a little bit of a discount on gift certificates right now if you want to give the gift of travel. A $500 travel gift certificate will cost you $480.
So just a small discount.
Just a small discount, yeah. And a $1,000 gift certificate will cost $950. Those are the two amounts that we typically see people purchasing, but we can do gift certificate for any amount requested.
If you want to give a gift, they will thank you forever. It is unlike any gift that you can give somebody. Call Mark in the office. Just get the conversation started. 888-718-7717, 888-718-7717, and he'll post all of this on blueplanetvacations.com. When we come back, it is time for the infamous Just Cruising segment, the segment of the show that has made us famous around the country and around the world. We've got an unlimited cruise pass for $799. Yeah, really. We've got some cruise news, and of course, we've got the cruise deal of the week, $199 cruises. No, we're not making that up. We'll be also talking about MSC cruising to Alaska. That is next when the Inside Travel Talk podcast or radio show continues. I am Patrick Wiscombe. He is Mark Faldmo. We'll be right back.
They've literally traveled millions of miles to answer your travel-related questions. Yeah, they really have. You're listening to the Inside Travel Talk podcast and radio show, presented by BluePlanetVacations.com, America's best travel advisors. Patrick and Mark will be back after these messages.
Inside Travel Talk is brought to you by AMA Waterways. From castles and capitals to vistas and villages, visit some of Europe's most remarkable sites and cities. To set out on your own river cruise journey, contact Blue Planet Vacations at 888-718-7717 or blueplanetvacations.com.
They'll help you plan and book your next vacation. Yeah, really. You're listening to the Inside Travel Talk podcast and radio show, presented by BluePlanetVacations.com, America's best travel advisors. Call or text the show now, 801-649-3700, 801-649-3700. And now, here's Patrick Wiscombe and Mark Faldmo.
Welcome back to the Inside Travel Talk podcast, a radio show. Hello there, I'm Patrick Wiscombe alongside Mark Faldmo, and this is the segment of the show. We just simply call it the infamous Just Cruising segment. It's the part of the show that has made us famous around the country and around the world. And to all listening, ahoy, mateys. Ahoy. Welcome aboard. There are so many cruise deals that we need to get to in this segment that let's just dispense with, I guess, the normal news. Let's start with the unlimited cruise for $799. I thought you were kidding when you mentioned that a little bit earlier this week.
This is on Margaritaville at Sea. They have two passes. They have the Silver Paradise Pass, which is $799. The Silver Pass will get you unlimited cruises on the Paradise, which does 2 and 3 night sailings out of Palm Beach. Or you can do the Ultimate Paradise Pass, which is $14.99, which is on their newer ship on the Islander out of Tampa. So for the $14.99, you can go on either ship, and the Islander sells 2 to 7 night cruises out of Tampa. Now, on top of these, you also get 10% off packages purchased on board. So that's like the spa. You get a credit, a $50 credit towards casino play. So there's some extra things they're giving you along with this. The catch is you can't use it on back-to-back cruises.
Is this just for a year? This isn't like a lifetime pass. This is just...
No, this is for a year. So
okay.
if you purchase it now, it will be good for any cruise from now until the end of 2026.
That's an amazing offer, really.
It is, yeah. Unlimited cruises, that'll pay for itself after 2 or 3 cruises. So
I thought this was a pretty stunning headline that Royal Caribbean is going to move Icon of the Seas, the biggest ship. It is breathtakingly huge. They're going to move it from Miami over to Galveston in 2027. That surprised me.
Galveston is really shaping up to be a really good cruise departure point. And you know, it used to be every ship out of Galveston was kind of the older, some of the ships didn't even have balconies, but now they're putting almost their best in Galveston.
So does that mean they're going to take Star of the Seas, which is Icon of the Seas Part 2, are they going to take that out of Port Canaveral, probably bring it down to Miami in roughly a year?
That, or they'll have a new ship there.
Okay.
So,
okay, actually, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Talk about power of the customer. Princess Cruises is adjusting its future deployments based on their customer research.
A lot of it is some of the guest experience, although from their research, they found for their guest, they were doing quite well. But what they are doing on their deployment starting in 2027 is they're increasing their Europe deployment, including adding significantly more 10 and 11 night itineraries. They found that people want those longer voyages where they can discover more of Europe when they're there. Their Europe is going to make up 19% of the overall yearly deployment, which is up significantly for Princess. And I like the fact of those longer 10 and 11 night itineraries. They are also increasing deployment to Alaska, which will make up 18% of their deployment. And then they're doubling. I think we actually talked about this about 3 weeks ago. They are doubling their Japan deployment, adding a second year-round ship, which means there are places where they have to reduce, which are going to reduce a little bit in the Caribbean to make up to get those other destinations serviced as their client would like.
Last week, we had Laura Okanowski. She is the business development manager with MSC Cruises. We have a great relationship with MSC Cruises. During the interview, we're talking about future ship deployment and all the ships coming.
We had been announcing more ships coming, more opportunities with Galveston, and also, I believe I've talked about this before with the two of you, is Alaska. So Alaska, yes, beginning in spring of 2026, will be a new opportunity for us as well. well. And since we've spoken, I don't know if you saw the press release, but we announced that we'll be returning for Alaska voyages in 2027.
Yep.
So very exciting for us as a company, and especially exciting for me, for somebody who lives in the Southwest, who represents the Southwest as far as sales and marketing efforts go, because there's this movement happening. For years and years, MSC was just sailing out of for the East Coast departures, Miami, Port Canaveral, and Brooklyn, New York. But now we've since made headway with Galveston, with Seattle beginning next year. And then who else, who knows what else is on the horizon beyond that? Of course, with 24 ships in our entire fleet, we do have worldwide voyages. And I've mentioned this to both of you before. You guys well know this, but maybe to some of our listeners, they may not know that MSC Cruises is literally a household name in other parts of the world, such as Europe, South America, and Asia. So we are really, as you mentioned, turning up the heat here in North America and getting our name out there.
You mentioned a little bit earlier, Laura, that you were in the Yacht Club, MSC Yacht Club.
Yes, that is correct. Now, MSC Yacht Club is rather unique. It presents a ship within a ship opportunity. And what this means is when you are traveling on a bigger contemporary style ship with a lot of amenities and maybe upwards towards, 5,000, 6,000 guests, sometimes people will think, well, that's a lot of people. I might like something that has a little bit more of an intimate type of accommodation opportunity, maybe something that's all inclusive. And we actually do offer that on 15 of our 24 ships. We have the Yacht Club, which is that ship within a ship experience. It is all suite appointed. It comes with priority embarkation, priority disembarkation. In fact, there's a separate gangway set up just for Yacht Club guests to come and go. You are assigned a butler who becomes not just somebody there to help you, but they truly become like a family member, an extension of your family while you're traveling. And I have had such great rapport with them. Our entire family has, where, your first couple of days, you're still kind of getting your bearings around the ship, right?
Yeah.
And they see me turn the wrong way, and then I turn back the other way, and boom, the butler is right there. Like they know your every move. It's almost a little bit spooky that they know where I am at all times. That could be to do with the wristband that they give Yacht Club guests. So
Yep.
You also have a wonderful wristband that acts as your entry to your suite, and you can utilize it to make purchases as well. So you don't have to always necessarily carry your key card around with you, except when you disembark the ship. But in Yacht Club, you have all-inclusive amenities as well. So all your beverages, your wine, spirits, champagne, your virgin daiquiris, virgin pina coladas, energy drinks, sodas, even certain drinks at the juice bar are complimentary and included with the cost of your fare, as well as Wi-Fi package services, which is quite nice.
Oh, that is included.
Yes,
Okay.
It is. Up to 2 devices for guest 1 and guest 2. Now, it's the basic browse and stream, which really suffices for, pulling up text messages, sending emails, those basics. If I wanted to sit down and watch, a full movie from my tablet or something like that, I would probably need to upgrade my package. But who wants to do that when they're on vacation? I take in all the ship amenities. I am at every show every evening. And our restaurant for Yacht Club is just for Yacht Club guests, as well as Top Sail Lounge, where you can sit and grab a drink in the evening or maybe a cappuccino in the morning. There's also light entertainment, pianist. Sometimes they'll do the afternoon tea right there for Yacht Club guests exclusively, and a private pool and hot tub as well.
Nikki and I found our way up there in,
You did.
I sure did. We were just wandering around like, oh, I wonder where this goes. Oh, we're in the Yacht Club right now. Oh, and we were alone. No one was around. It was amazing.
It really is just a wonderful experience. One of my favorite things to do on board an MSC cruise ship, definitely. Yes, yes, yes. And we travel with our 13-year-old son. And when you travel with a youngster like that, who's got a lot of energy, he wants to go up and down all the water slides. He wants to go to the arcade. He wants to be at the kids program, challenging us with ping pong tournament, pickleball, all the things. And so at the end of all of that, it's nice that we can just go back to our respite of Yacht Club, sit at the bar, get a cappuccino, get an afternoon, cold drink, or just sit by the pool and wait for the fruit skewers to be passed around and the towels.
I can see your son going, Rutherford, may I have some pizza, please? I can totally see him doing that.
Actually, he has said to us, believe it or not, Patrick and Mark, this is a true story. Every time we cruise, he will give mom and dad our own date night. He'll just announce, any given day, mom, dad, you guys go have date night. I'm going to stay in the suite. I'm going to watch cartoons, and I'm ordering my own MSC pizza and grandma's chocolate cake room service delivery. And we do just that. We feel, confident, safe enough. He's going to be just fine, right? He's 13. If he did want to go to, the kids club, teen club, that's just fine too. He knows his way around the ship pretty well. And we trust him to make good decisions. So
13-year-old being bottled. That's amazing.
Yeah.
But you know what's so funny? So both my husband and I, neither of us drink alcohol. It's just personal preference. Our son on day one of the cruise knows all the bartenders' names because he will go introduce himself and he starts ordering his pina coladas, virgin pina coladas, drink after drink after drink. So when we see him at 4 or 5 in the afternoon, say, you ready for dinner? We're thinking about dinner. He's filled to the gills with pina coladas that he doesn't even want dinner for another hour or two.
I need to meet your son because he and I would be double fisting virgin pina coladas.
He's an old soul. He loves cruising, and so do we. So again, it's a great family opportunity. Great way to travel with multiple friends and family too. You can all go your own separate way during the day and then reconvene and come back together for dinner, which is really nice, and talk about your stories and what each individual did during the course of the day. It's as busy as you want it to be, or you can just linger longer. That's what I love about cruising. And who doesn't love to be on the open seas? So that is my favorite vacation out there.
Our thanks to Laura Okanowski of MSC Cruises for coming on the show. Mark, let's get to the cruise deal of the week here.
We're going to continue with MSC. First, their Cyber Monday and Travel Tuesday deal, which is cruises starting at $199 and up. And then also up to $1,000 onboard credit plus kids sail free.
When Laura said that during the interview, I don't think I've ever heard that number before.
I think MSC is one of the best cruise values out there.
Absolutely.
We've had Laura on a couple of times. MSC has great ships and a great product. One thing that she talked about early on in that segment was their ship that's going to be starting in Alaska next spring.
Yeah.
And so I did want to just mention that June dates for their Alaska cruise start at $849, which for a June date, I actually just pulled up a cruise comparison.
Yeah.
Depending on the date, that's $150 to $250 per person less on MSC than it is on any other cruise line.
And to cruise to Alaska right at the height, that is crazy cheap to do.
That is. In fact, that $849 sailing was June 22nd. So that's a really good date to go.
You have to take advantage of that. That's just crazy good, crazy cheap. $849. We've got the MSC Cyber Monday sale cruises from $199 plus up to $1,000 onboard credit. Kids sail free. Unlimited cruise pass for Margaritaville at sea for $799. Unlimited cruise pass on Margaritaville Islander for $14.99. We've just gone over an enormous amount of Black Friday deals. Call Mark. Get the conversation started. No obligation. 888-718-7717. 888-718-7717. One more time on the phone number. 888-718-7717, just in case someone is scrambling. BluePlanetVacations.com is where you can also find much of this information. You can listen to this award-nominated podcast, but we haven't won yet, and radio show each Saturday and Sunday morning right here on the very radio station you're listening to right now, and all radio stations around the country starting at 11 a.m. local time. And you can also stream, listen, and subscribe to the show at InsideTravelTalk.com. Whew, man, I'm out of breath. We covered a lot of ground. We've done our job. Now it's your turn to get out and see the world, travel the world while you can, because you never know what curveballs life is going to throw at you. Live your life deliberately. Live your life intentionally. Don't put things off. And a sincere thank you for listening to the show. Make it a great week. We'll talk to you next week.
That's it. That's the end of the show. You've been listening to the Inside Travel Talk podcast and radio show with Patrick Wiscombe and Mark Faldmo, presented by BluePlanetVacations.com. Book your adventure right now. Call 888-718-7717. That's 888-718-7717. Thanks for listening. Have a great week.
Inside Travel Talk is brought to you by Travelex Insurance Services. Their travel insurance plans can help protect you and your vacation. Travelex is known for their award-winning customer service and high claims paid rate. Contact Blue Planet Vacations at 888-718-7717 or blueplanetvacations.com for more information.